The Silly Goose Gang Podcast.
That's all right. Chris just gets a little pop-up that says he's recording and it plugs him, but we're back in. Marcus, it's 2022. How has that happened?
Well, it's this thing called time, and it just keeps moving forward. You know, it's weird. I'm sure some smart person has an answer.
We were talking off camera, me and Ali, before you joined in, and we posted our first podcast with you August 2020. It's already 16 or 17 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't feel like that long ago, to be honest with you.
It was genuinely 6 months ago.
Wow.
There you go. But you're one of the people who our friends always say you need to get Marcus back on. So.
All right. So where do I send the money? Okay. I'm sure do I have to pay in like a special, like, do I pay in euros, or how am I going to be paying for that?
Just pay us with kindness.
It'd be cheaper for me to give you euros.
Oh man, how's life treating you, buddy? How's everything going on?
Honestly, guys, it sounds cliche, but I have my health. I can use my body. My mind is not completely eroded yet. What do I have to complain about? Even if I did have something, I mean, fuck, for real, right? I mean,
yeah.
What else is there?
Yeah, you know what? I'm one of those people as well, and I wake up pretty much 99% of mornings just going, this is all right. This is pretty fucking cool. I get to go lift weights, or I go do jiu-jitsu, or I'm going to go and run uphill. Fuck, man. How cool is that?
And I mean, everybody's family, as far as I know, like you guys, everybody's okay. Ali's, everybody's okay. You know what I mean? Like, so if our families are okay and we're okay, what do we really have to be upset about?
Well, nothing major. I mean, a lot of little things, but nothing major.
No.
But yeah, man. So we're actually talking beforehand, because one of the coolest things, and I had actually forgotten about it until Ali brought it up, but I remember when it came out, we were both pissing ourselves, was you kicking Hitler in the dick.
Everybody's got to have a claim to fame.
Oh, 100%. Just for anyone that is just listening to the audio, Marcus appears in 100 Deadly Skills Combat Edition with previous guest Clint Emerson, and just to kind of break it down, you basically show combat techniques on historic figures. Now, did you pick Hitler? Did Clint give you Hitler? How did you get to kick Hitler in the dick?
Well, and I asked him later on about that, about, you know, who picked what. I mean, it just made sense for me to beat up Hitler because of the Krav Maga, being an Israeli system.
Oh, okay.
But, and I didn't even know there was people, like, I didn't know you had choices. All I heard was, here's what we're doing. I just kept saying yes to everything, right? I didn't ask any questions. He was like, I want you to be in the book. Yes. I want you to meet you here. Yes. So I guess other guys had been like, I want to beat up Hitler. I didn't even know. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't care. I mean, I love it was Hitler. Like, that makes my heart warm. But if they had given me some other piece of shit, I would have been okay with that too.
You're not bothered about which dictator you get to kick in the dick.
No, I mean, but I'm
here.
If I got a chance to sit there and be around all those legend guys that are in the book, and of course I'd be like, I got Hitler. You know, I mean, I'd run after I said it because they're a bunch of fucking badasses. But yeah, I did get to hit Hitler though.
Yeah, at some point in time, and in the future, I'm going to have to get you to sign that page. You kicking Hitler in the dick. I'm going to have to figure it out.
In a heartbeat.
I have to get that figured out. But yeah, so, and of course you were in the TV show.
Oh yeah, that was that turned out pretty cool, man. I don't know if you guys got to see it.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with it, and I got no complaints.
Yeah, so one of those things where it was on Warrior, was it
Warrior
Poet
Poet
Society?
Society.
Yeah,
Warrior
so
Poet Society, yeah.
when it came out and I seen how many people who were on there that we had spoke, like,
Yeah.
so stupid. Pat Mack, there's so many guys on
Yeah.
there. We're like, I'm going to have to pay. I have to you pay for it. It's $10 a month, something like that, and watch it. So it was good fun. And
Pat's was good. Pat's was awesome.
Do you know Pat?
No, I haven't met him yet.
He is a fucking sweetheart of a man. The nicest guy. Super cool. But probably rip your dick off if you piss him off.
Well, I mean, like any of those guys, right? They're all gentle giants until you poke the wrong button, and then they're gonna slit your throat. So
this is always the same. Always the same thing. It's always the guys who are the absolute nutcases who are just nice.
Yeah. Did you guys have Tony on yet? Tony Blauer? Have you had him on your show yet?
No. We had I had got in touch with him because I'm sure, in fact, it was your good self, Marcus. You tagged us in one of his posts saying he'd asked for people. He says, I want to get into more podcasts. If anyone's got any good podcasts, give us a shout. And you very kindly, I'm sure, tagged the Silly Goose Gang in it. And we just never ever made it work. He was busy, we were busy, and then we kind of shut down from last summer just because me and Chris were both busy with work in the real world and never got round to it. So he's on the back burner list that we're going to get him on at some point this year. I've still got his email and stuff, so we'll definitely get him on though.
Yeah, he's a wealth of information, man. I mean, like that guy's forgotten more stuff about how to protect yourself than most of us will ever know in our lifetime.
What's his background?
Well, he's a grumpy old bastard. I like talking about him in that way because do you guys ever see the TV series Muppets? Do you guys
yeah.
Okay. Remember the two old bastards up in the balcony? Okay.
Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah. One of those is Tony. The other's me. But so he's been doing martial arts. I think he's about 102 years old now. So he's got to be he comes from a traditional background, and then like he is a revolutionary person. His brain, he just thinks of shit that most people just don't. And he's evolved people's awareness and how to protect themselves. And there's some sciencey shit to it. He's a smart motherfucker, man. I mean, he is a smart dude. He's like Einstein stuff, but he still makes it easy for guys like me to be able to understand. So I'm telling you, he's a good dude, really good dude.
Definitely make a point of getting him on. Well, I actually got a bunch of people that we need to get on this year. We had hoped to get Clint back on, but I think Clint's now moved to that level where he's doing incredible stuff with really cool people. So yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody is involved now. His podcast that survived the podcast, it really has exploded, and Clint's got like one of those guys that has about 150 irons in the fire and is working all of them at once. He's a fascinating individual. I'm not surprised to hear how busy he is because.
And he's now doing so Ali sent me Ali tagged me in something that he's now doing SAS
Australia
with
Dean Stott.
Dean Stott, who we had Dean Stott on. It's funny. It's quite funny watching these TV shows. We spoke to him.
You guys are pioneers, man. I'm telling you.
Fucking hilarious. We are, as you already called us. We are a couple of retards. Yeah, who knows why we're doing? I don't know how we got here, but fuck it.
Well, it's amazing how being good guys attracts better people. You know what I mean? You guys are good individuals, and I'm not saying that because you're in front of me. I'd say it even behind your back.
Awesome, thank you. I mean, I say worse things like that about Ali behind his back, so.
And to my face.
And to his face, actually, so it's fine. But yeah, you know what? It's one of those things where I like, if you think about how crazy life is and how life works out, and you think the only thing that you can be is a nice person. Like, you can't guarantee that you could do anything else. Yeah. But you can always be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is a choice, though, right? It is a choice.
Yeah, of course it is.
you know, there's a lot of people who choose to be dickheads, right? They just choose to be douchebags. And so at the end of the day, I think that in our nature, we are good people in our nature. There's some that are just evil shitheads, and that's just how it is. That's how they're born. But for the most part, you make a choice every day. Do I open this door for this lady, knowing full well that I might be yelled at for doing it? Or do I just help this person out, even though it might backfire in my face? Yes. Now, other people will be like, I'm not going to do it because I don't want anybody to yell at me, or I'm not going to do that because fuck them. What did they do for me? You know, the people that the two, I was going to say the three, counting myself as a third person. Wow.
Wow, so he's got so big now. He's got so big. He's done TV now. He's referred to himself as what Marcus Torgerson would do is.
That's right. The Rock. Who? Fuck that guy. But the three of us are basically the same in the sense of we've grown up and we believe that doing good things and helping other people is just a better way to live. And I believe that the more we put that out, people who are on the fence between being a fucking asshole and being a good person, they'll be like, well, I might as well come over to the good side. And it just takes time, man. It takes time to break people down.
It's funny because just 2 weeks ago, right before Christmas, we were doing some gi jiu-jitsu, and one of the young guys who started to train, and he didn't have a gi. So, bring one in and gave it to him. And then he's like, I'll give you this gi back, and, you can wash it. I was like, no, keep it. Like, I have loads, keep it. And then he's saying to Ali, like, is he sure? Like, should I give it? It's a gi, man. It's for you. Like, I have lots. You don't have any. You just started out. Come on, take the gi. Enjoy it. You know why? Like, it's not like, hey, man, I'm going to eat. And one of the things that pisses me off is, fine well that people do a lot of nice things just for likes and for show. You're like, no, man. I don't need it. And another guy, one of the guys who trains with us, he's his dad had passed away not long before Christmas as well. Just not publicly, privately messaging him, just saying, listen, man, you need somebody to talk to. Phone's always on. Just give me a shout, man. We've all been there. Shit. It's just fucking be a decent person. It doesn't, and you know what? It's a lot, and this is something that Ali's always said quite a lot. It's a lot harder to not send that. It's a lot easier to not send that message.
Yep. And that's the reason why being a douchebag is so easy for people to do, because it does make a conscious effort when you're considerate to other people's feelings and how people are. It takes time and energy, but I believe that you get that back tenfold, 100-fold. Because you're not doing it for an agenda. Like the people you said who do something, and then there's a camera like, oh, look at me giving this piece of bread to this poor person. Aren't I a nice person? And then they post it. Like every time I see a video of somebody doing a good thing and they're videotaping it, why do I mean, it's nice to see, but that other part of my brain says, fuck you. You should be able to do that without everybody knowing. But I mean, it's a razor's edge, though. We need it because we need to show that there are good people on the planet. Yeah,
definitely. But I always think when I see somebody doing something nice publicly, I always think, what are you overcompensating for? What are you hiding? Yeah. You're really fucking beating up women. Like what you doing? What the fuck are you doing, man? But yeah, man. Yeah. Thank God there's as many nice people as assholes in the world.
Yeah, it goes back. I'm sure we've all seen Roadhouse at this point with a great.
I have not seen Roadhouse.
Oh my
God. Well, okay. Me and Marcus are right.
Great interview. Thank you. Take care of you guys. I will be leaving. Don't bother contacting me again.
Sorry. I know. I can't believe that.
But what is wrong with you? Did you get beaten as a child? Well, yeah, you did, but still, not obviously enough. How could you not have seen that movie?
I mean, I've also not tried pasta, so there's also that.
Tried what?
Pasta.
Okay, that makes two of us, but that doesn't mean you're a bad person.
All right, okay, that's fine now. But Roadhouse does. Okay,
Roadhouse does.
Yeah. Roadhouse definitely does. Well, Roadhouse is a great movie.
Ali, tell him why. Give him the line.
Okay, the reason that I was bringing it up, as Marcus knows, but Chris doesn't, is
Yes.
Patrick Swayze plays Dalton, who's a cooler in a Missouri bar called the Double Deuce. And he has one very simple piece of advice: be nice. And if the guy's too big to handle one-on-one, two of you will go and deal with him, and you'll both be nice. And you'll escort him out of the bar, and you will be nice. And then the boy says, when will I know when it's time to not be nice? And Patrick Swayze says, you won't know, I'll tell you. And it's just a real... And the boy says to him, what happens if someone calls my mama a whore? And Patrick Swayze goes, is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of truth to a lot of those things. Like when people sit there and call you a name, I don't know, like you're a cocksucker. When you get upset about it, my question is, why are you upset about it? Is there something we need to know? Maybe you're a little, come on out, man. Don't be afraid. I'm amazed at how many words offend or get people to, like, even, I'm pretty old. So I remember 40 years ago, people were punching each other out for being called a fucking asshole. Like, well, you are an asshole. So what are you getting upset about? Don't be mad. Be happy that they acknowledged who you were.
Yeah. Some of the shit we say to each other at jiu-jitsu on a regular basis is just savage.
Yeah.
But that's something that I don't know. Most Scottish people don't get offended by.
No.
Very much.
That's because nobody can understand you.
Yeah, well,
that's probably true. Even sometimes other Scottish people can't understand other Scottish people.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. I've heard those stories.
It is completely normal to walk into a room and just say, "All right, dickhead," and that's a greeting. That's an extension of your warmth in Scotland.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder what would happen if the world would just lighten up a little bit, and within the right context of an environment, just be welcoming of being open to comments. Obviously I'm not going to walk up to a woman I've never met before and be like, "Hey, you cunt." Like that's right. Like that's not appropriate. But if it's a guy that I know even a little bit, I should be able to say it without getting punched out.
This actually happened on Instagram just last week. No, 2 or 3 days ago.
Just a couple of days ago, yeah.
It was a couple of days ago. It was do you know Laura Zera? Yeah, she was on Naked and Afraid and stuff, and she's a crazy survivalist and adventurer, and she makes knives and all sorts. And she was on the podcast, so me and Laura are quite friendly. So she posted a picture, and I just replied to it, "Happy New Year to my favourite crazy cunt." So some random guy goes, "Yeah, real nice, buddy. I bet you get all the women." And I was just like, "Yeah, we're friends. That's how we speak to each other." And then she ended up getting back, and "Yeah, you are a crazy cunt." And it was just some random guy who, for no reason, he wanted to look nice. He wanted to look nicer. But there was other things I was going to say as well at the time. But yeah, I thought I better not. But
No, because you know why, Chris? You follow Dalton's advice. Just be nice.
Just be nice. Yeah.
Just be nice.
If you'd watched that movie, you'd understand, and that would be a different situation.
So I'm going to have to add Roadhouse, and I still haven't seen Top Gun all the way through.
You haven't seen what?
Top Gun.
Okay, well, of the two, I'd rather you saw Roadhouse.
Okay, you know what? I will start watching it this week. I'm trying to think.
It's got to be free in some streaming service over there. Like
I'll pay for it.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will pay you to watch it.
To keep Marcus happy, I will pay to watch Roadhouse. And
honestly, I also think, and again, Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong here, because again, we're all of a similar generation, but I genuinely believe it is the cultural birth of the word bromance.
Yeah.
Because of Patrick Swayze and big Sam Neill with his big handsome hair.
Yeah.
I think that's the start of the word bromance. I don't think that existed before Roadhouse.
Yeah, but it's so funny because you'd never use that word regarding that movie. You'd get punched in the throat, right? Like, oh, Sam Elliott and Patrick Swayze, they'd have a bromance. Dunk right in the face, because you just wouldn't. It's like saying the guys from Fight Club, Brad Pitt and Ed Norton, they had a bromance. Yes. You should get punched in the face for saying that.
100%. 100%.
Just a lot of punching in the face going on here.
Well, yeah. Well, for that word, yeah. There's just some words in the English language that should be abolished, and that's one of them.
I get so annoyed by the term PT. I hate when people refer to themselves as a PT. I'm just like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like,
is that for like a personal trainer? Or
yeah. It fucking annoys me so much. Like, I'm getting wound up now. And I seen a PT had posted someplace. Somebody had shared it on Instagram, and I seen it. They were doing, it was a boxing class. And you going, no, it's fucking not. It's not. PT is in a box. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Ali, push some buttons quick. I want to see the Hulk right out.
I know, it's hilarious. Genuinely, that, and probably PT and boot camps. PT's running boot camps.
Yeah.
I get annoyed by that term.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, my mum had said to me that some woman who lives locally going, hey, she's a PT now. It doesn't mean anything. What do you mean? I was like, she could have done a 6-week course and become a qualified. I don't know how it is in America, but in Scotland you could do a 6-week course and you're then a qualified PT. And what the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? It's like saying, yeah, Marcus, I'm I actually did a 6-week Krav Maga course, so listen, don't I know how to handle myself.
Yeah. No, the sad part is, brother, that's actually a fact.
Is it?
Already people, yeah. It's not. Listen, our world has become faster. We want everything faster, cheaper, and easier, right? Like that's just how we are. Everything is 6 weeks, 2 weeks, training sessions. When I was doing personal training in the 80s and early 90s, sessions would go, hour and a half, depending on what was needed. Now, a session with a personal trainer or a PT, depending on who you talk to, is, they can be anywhere from 30 minutes to under an hour. Everything's fast. Fuck it. I don't think that's evolution, to be honest with you.
No, it's quite funny because, again, we were talking about this morning about, getting promoted jiu-jitsu now to purple belt. And, I've been training for nearly 6 years, and there's a bunch of guys who've been training half of that time. I've now got purple belts from different gyms.
Yeah.
And, I'm better. But our professor, Dan, had said to me, I'm not giving you a purple belt till you win something at blue belt.
Right.
I went, okay, fair enough. So I have to win something as a blue belt, which hasn't been easy over the last 18 months, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to have to win something as a blue belt before I get my purple belt, which is...
Okay, I have a little bit of professional advice to give you, okay? Are you ready for this?
Okay.
I want you to find an age group between 10 to 12, heavyweights, dive in, shave, and then kick some ass. Put everybody in an arm bar, and you've won, no problem. Easy day.
No, but the thing is I can now be qualified as a masters athlete. But I'm not fucking. I'm not fucking having that.
Yeah, well, you are old. You are old. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not having that yet. I'm not having that. I'm still adult, and I'll still keep doing that until I obviously can't.
Denial is not just a river in Egypt anymore, is it, my friend? Wow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I can still beat up the young guys.
That's why I gave you the 12-year-olds.
Oh man, yeah.
Take them all down.
But yeah, I think I seen you post something on Facebook a while ago about somebody doing easy Krav Maga promotions. I think I seen you post something about that. It must have been you because I don't have anybody else that does Krav Maga.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's be honest. As soon as rank, and it doesn't matter whether it's in a civilian or a military or anything as a human being, when there's rank involved, you're instantly going to separate the group from who's testing, because real rank testing should be challenging to the point of and a healthy type of challenge. Let's leave it at that. Now, when you lower the standards for your rank testing because you need to have more people because it is a business, you're losing some of the emphasis of why we have rank testing in general. It's not supposed to be lower the bar for the masses. It's supposed to be heighten the bar and everybody rises up. I'm disappointed in, and it's been this way for probably easily the last 30 years or maybe less, in every martial art or everything. Our military, I don't know what it's like over there, but in, the military is lowering their standards because they need to get a younger group, and the younger people just don't have the intestinal fortitude to challenge themselves and welcome a challenge. And so as soon as we get a rank where people aren't willing to do it, and you have bills to pay, if you're the gym owner, if you're the owner of that school, you need to pay bills. The light and energy doesn't give a shit that you have one student. They're like, fuck you, pay me. So, I'm torn because of the fact that I think rank is important because it shows that you've evolved to a certain level. But I am very anti-rank because of the fact that just because you're a purple belt, let's say you get a guy who's a purple belt. Well, that means nothing to me if you can't show me that you're above and beyond. And my adage has always been, I'd rather be a white belt that should be a black belt than a black belt that should be a white belt.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. It's there's been quite a lot of that in Scotland as well, with some martial arts gyms who are business model is dependent on them promoting people, shall we say.
Well, you can't throw stones though, Chris, because they've got a business. They've got to pay their bills, right? They've got a family that they got to feed. How they look at themselves in the mirror is a different story. But
the only thing that annoys me about it is the fact that they have people who are the same belt as me who think they're as good as me, when the reality is I would fucking murder them.
Well, and this is where I'm going to go back to Roadhouse. Be nice, right? Like, I have an adage that I live, and I've done it since my karate instructor taught it to me in 1995. Be kind to dumb animals. And it has kept me out of jail. It has kept me out of huge amounts of trouble, because there is going to be people who are like, well, I'm a black belt and cream of some young guy. I'm like, well, good for you. Happy for you. I can see how passionate you are about that. Take care. May the force be with you. See you later.
Yeah.
You can't change stupid.
I'm not. I'm not bothered about the gyms. But yeah, it only bothers me when there's people around at the same rank who think they're better, and you go, yeah, well, you're not. And that's the only thing that bothers me. But as we're saying right at the top, like, I've got so many things to do that I don't really have time to worry about it. It pisses me off when I talk about it, but I don't. Yeah. There's shit to do. But yeah, it's, and as you were saying, I think in the UK they've just lowered the requirements or they were talking about lowering requirements for SAS, I believe.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, but I've also heard that they're giving. Now I don't know this for sure. So if any of our listeners are like, "Fuck that guy," he doesn't know what he's talking about. I understand that they're also punishing guys from the SAS for any social media or any promotion like that show that Clint's in, right? From what I understand, that the higher ups in the SAS are punishing members of the SAS if they go and try to make any money off of the SAS name.
I believe that's true.
Yeah, it is because we had Dean Stott on, who's now in the SAS Australia with Clint and Ant Middleton, and the original directing staff that they wanted on the SAS over here in Britain was supposed to be Dean Stott and Ant Middleton, but Dean Stott had only recently left serving military. And exactly that, the hierarchy said, no, you signed the Official Secrets Act, you're still within your non-disclosure period. We're not allowing you to put your name on it that you are an ex-UK Special Forces. So he just said, well, I can't come into the light, so to speak. I need to stay in the shadows for another couple of years. And it was only when he did his he cycled from the bottom of South America to the top at Alaska, right up the Trans-American Highway, broke the world record. And because of the media coverage on that and the fact it was for brain trauma and PTSD, was raising all for charity. At that point, the British military said, okay, because it's now associated with something positive,
right,
we'll allow you. And then that gave them then the avenue to say, well, everyone knows about me now, so now, see you later, I'm away to do what I can do now.
Yeah. I mean, I can see both sides to it. I really can. I can see both sides to it. But to handicap someone from profiting and bettering their life, I'm torn on it. I believe in the silent professional. I believe in it 100%. But I'm also believing in a husband who should be able to provide for his children and wife.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
We've actually got it as again, even within the British military. There's regiments called, we might have heard them, the Gurkhas. So they're all Nepalese. So they're all Nepalese. Yeah.
They got I have one of their knives right now.
Yeah. So they serve in the British military, but when they leave and are no longer a serving soldier, they're not allowed to stay in the UK unless they pay $5,500. And oh, by the way, if you're married, you have to pay $5,500 for your wife. Pounds, sorry. And oh, by the way, if you've got kids, that's another $5,500. So someone that's coming out of the military with a wife and 2 kids has to now find £20,000 to stay in the UK, having served in the British fucking military, served in Iraq, served in Afghanistan. You know, some of the boys have been injured. They get pension, but thanks very much, you can fuck off back to Nepal now. And that infuriates me as much as, like, even more than Chris and his PT, because you've taken the Queen's shilling, you were willing to fight. Yeah, we need to pay that back.
Yeah, that's probably the most disgusting, shitty news I have ever heard in the longest time. That is an insult among insults, because those Gurkhas are no joke, man. I've met a couple of them, and they are no fucking joke. Like, they're lethal little bastards, and I think that you can't slap anybody in the face worse than that.
Yeah, no, and apparently as well, as it was buried in their contract, and it didn't become public knowledge till like 2014, 2015. So a lot of Gurkhas signed up, went through Iraq and Afghanistan, did their 10 years, 15 years. Okay, that's me ready to retire now. Thanks very much. And then when they were filling all the paperwork out to leave, their CEOs weren't saying, oh, by the way, you need to pay a fee. So these guys were coming to Britain, and suddenly the Home Office is at the door. Hi, you need to get out of the country. What do you mean? Yeah, you've not paid your visa. You're out of the country. You're now an illegal immigrant, and we're going to extradite you or, remove you from the country. And they were forcibly removing them back to Nepal, even though they had their whole families, kids that were born in Britain, because they'd been born when their dads were over here serving. Fijians as well. The Fijians and the Scots Guards were essentially any Commonwealth soldier. So the Fijians and the Nigerians, but the Gurkhas were probably the most impacted, because they are all, by definition, Nepalese and Commonwealth citizens, and they were just getting stiffed and having to find suddenly £20,000.
Crazy.
Unreal.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more being nice. Fuck being nice. Let's start knocking people out. Get those people who told them and start knocking people out.
It's awful. Really bad.
Sorry to bring the tone down. I apologize, Marcus, for delivering that bad news to you.
No, brother. No, I mean, listen. The world is not all sunshines and roses, right? I mean, fuck. This is. If we don't talk about it in this environment, how are we supposed to shed light on some of the stupid shit that people do to punish the people who are doing good stuff in the world? And it has to be loud. So no, you didn't ruin shit. And I gotta fuck you to the people who sit there and agree to that and think that it's okay.
No,
military get fucked over more than anybody else.
100%. And then to flip it around, the Prime Minister that sent the Brits into the war, Tony Blair, got a knighthood off the Queen at New Year's Day. So he got knighted. He's now Sir Tony Blair. For
there's a massive petition now for
borderline war criminal. lied through his back teeth to send us into war, and then he gets a fucking knighthood, and the Gurkhas that served all gets told pay us $5.5 grand or go back to Nepal.
And worse than that, he became, once he retired from being prime minister, he was like special envoy for the UN to the Middle East. That was like his job. So he invaded, him and Bush invaded Iraq and Afghanistan over nothing. There was no weapons of mass destruction. He then gets a knighthood, but he fucking absolutely started an illegal war, and then he got a fucking job for the UN as a special envoy, a special peace envoy in the Middle East.
Yeah. Well, again, the
like, how the fuck?
Well, we could go through history and see that people in power sat there and made fucked up decisions based off other fucked up people, and punished a bunch of good people who are doing good things, and they're making a ton of money. Let's look at the last 2 years, right? Don't tell me that there's not people making a shit ton of money while other people are suffering.
Well, as it turns out, the Tony Blair Foundation was on the receiving end of like £30 million in donations from the Gates Foundation. You know, and Tony Blair's been telling everybody that they have to get vaccinated, they have to get boosted, they have to do. Okay, man, I understand what's going on. I mean,
yeah.
And
you know, and just so you know, when people are listening, I want to make sure we're clear on something. When it comes to COVID, just talking about the word immediately separates our society, and that is unacceptable. I don't care where you stand on any of it. What I care about is when you make somebody feel bad about what they think, then I got a problem. And that's on both sides. I don't give a shit where you stand. If you shit on somebody because of how they feel, you're a fucking douchebag. I don't give a shit where you stand. Just don't punish somebody else verbally or any other way because they don't think how you think. We're supposed to be a bunch of free will thinking people, not a bunch of people who are, everybody has to be the exact same. So sorry about that, but I just, there's families that are no longer talking to each other, friends that don't talk to each other, people. I mean, I've never seen a segregation of a society as bad as I have in the last 2 years. It's embarrassing.
Well, you should have seen Scotland in the run up to the 2014 referendum. Fuck me. That was awful. Genuinely, families, you know, people fighting. Genuinely, it was real bad. Real bad. It was similar, to be fair. Me and Ali are pretty much the same. We're like, I don't really give a fuck what you do.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do this, because if you're doing something because you think it's the right thing for your family to do, cool.
Yeah.
You know, if you come, you know, somebody comes to me, you know, I think I'm going to start kicking babies. But whoa, what if, no, man, no, you can't kick babies. But if somebody comes and says, I don't want to do, you know, I want to get vaccinated or don't want to get vaccinated, cool. Like, I mean, if you think that's the right thing to do, cool. I don't care. You know, the whole thing pisses me off, but it makes you wonder whether it's the whole point of it is to divide people.
Well, it's not hard. Like,
you know,
it's the easiest thing to do. If you look at history, it's easier if people are separated because people together cause a problem, right? A person is not stupid or fear-based. A group of people are either really powerful or really afraid. So either way, I'm going to sit there and make sure that everybody has our whole world's divided in half. Coke, Pepsi, right? McDonald's and whatever. We always are going to divide. And all it takes is a little bit of a push and a little bit of instigation. And as a species, we want to fight each other over the stupidest things. Right?
I mean, Scotland. I mean, Ali, I've talked about this before. In Scotland, it's still very much, you know, you could tell that we've descended from clans because people will still argue, you know, as you know, the great line in Braveheart when Big Hamish, you know, when the knight and Sir William Wallace, and he goes, You couldn't agree on the colour of shite. And it's true. We still argue in Scotland over everything. Mostly it's football based, Celtic, Rangers, Catholic, Protestant. And we still argue over everything.
Yeah. So COVID's just one extra thing that they threw on. It was really easy.
Yeah.
And then you get a government, our government in Scotland, and they allowed a pro IRA march essentially with their flying Irish flags through the Protestant govern with their all Rangers fans, and then they went, I don't understand why there was trouble. And you go,
right, yeah.
It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Like,
well,
you go, that cannot be by accident.
No,
done that deliberately.
And I think it's fair to say, no matter where you are in the world, in this entire planet, the minute you bring up the word government, everybody, for the most part, I can't think of any other countries that all sit there and just shake their head at what their government is doing and has been doing for a significant amount of time. And that's where I think that people, whether it's Scotland, Canada, America, whatever, people need to come together and need to realize that we are being manipulated in some shape or form, and to just come together and be good human beings. Watch out for your fellow human being. If you see somebody hurt, pick them up. Like, again, I'm not to get overly deep here, but do for others more than you do for yourself. And if you can do that, the government doesn't have any power over you because you're doing the good things of the planet. Be good, be kind, just like Roadhouse said.
It's funny because I was having a conversation with one of my friends a little while ago now, and he was talking about, and it was like everything based around COVID. He was talking about what the government said, and the government did, and I said, do you think over the last 18 months, 20 months, whatever it was at the time, I said, do you honestly think that the government have had your best intentions at heart? And he kind of looked at me. And I went, no, seriously. Because if you do, like, awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Exactly. Awesome.
They haven't. But, awesome. If you think that, cool. But clearly they haven't. Clearly they haven't. And, he didn't really understand where to go with that. I just went, oh, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Good luck. Just keep bending over and taking an ass from the government and see where that takes you. It's
do you not? I was going to say, do you not think it's weird though that people seem to be, if the government of your choice is in power, people that also support that seem to be hesitant to criticize it, and in a way that they wouldn't hesitate to criticize if it was their favorite sports team. Because I have friends that are pro-independence in Scotland, and they can see no bad that anything the Scottish government does because it's a pro-independence government that's in place. Yeah. But I also know what football team they support, and they'll slam the shit out of the manager when it's going bad. And I'm like, but why can't you also? Oh, because like Chris is saying, yeah, but they're pro-independence, they're for Scotland. Yeah, but you can still be that, but you can still admit that they're doing a shit job in certain circumstances. Yeah. It's weird that people seem to hold on to their political identity sometimes stronger than anything else.
Although what has to be said is, so I have some friends, American friends, who were very much really hard on the anti-Trump bandwagon, and they were all about the wearing the pussy hats and pro-Biden, pro-Kamala Harris, and have been oddly silent this year. Oddly silent.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, because we're a two-party system here, where I have a problem is you have a right side and a left side, correct? Yeah. That's okay. Yep. So there are two wings on a bird. They're part of the same fucking bird. Yeah. A bird cannot fly with one wing, right or left. They both have to be on the bird. So the fact that you have people, and Trump's easy, right? Like, Trump's easy, Biden's easy. Like, the American politics is easy to grab onto and just fucking rip apart. But at the end of the day, the rich people at the top of the pyramid are still going to be rich, and they want us to bitch and complain about the politics like we bitch about gas or the ozone. That shows how old I am, or fucking green shit. And they know the little minions are going to fucking bitch and complain and not do anything because they're going to be too busy angry about gas prices or whatever. We're so easy to manipulate. Politicians and government can suck all sorts of stuff. The hell with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, me and Ali have talked about it, loads of times. There really isn't a political party for us in the UK anymore, because it's essentially although Scotland has their own party, but it's essentially a two-party system as well. You've basically got Labour and the Conservatives, and Labour have got more ridiculous over the last, they've kind of became the party of the woke. And we're really not a party for people like us anymore. So you go, now you're voting for who's the least worst?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's basically what we're voting for. There isn't a party for us because we disagree with pretty much everything they're saying. But who do I think is going to fuck things up the least? Okay, I'll vote for that guy.
Well, and I gotta say this again. So I'm going to use America because that's all I can talk about. I live in America, and people I can't vote because I'm not an American citizen, right? So I look at people who, you vote something and then it doesn't work out the way you want it to. And my question is this: if Tuesday, the new prime minister, president, whatever, it's Tuesday, on Wednesday, your day should be the exact same, because it doesn't fucking matter who the politicians are. They're going to fuck over here and fuck over there. Guys, you got to get up. You still got to wipe your ass. You got to brush your teeth, take care of your kids, take care of your woman, go to work. Focus on the shit that you can control. I can control me, and I can control my environment and do the best I can in my environment. If everybody in the fucking world did that, the politicians couldn't fuck things up because we would not be allowing them to do that. Yeah. So in the meantime, be nice, be kind, and fucking help your fellow man.
I mean, I could give you a perfect example of that, Marcus. We left the European Union a year ago, and there was all sorts of people saying, that the world's going to end, all the banks are going to leave, there's going to be no food in the shelves. And exactly what you've just said there, we woke up the day after we left, and you know what changed? Nothing. It was a little bit difficult to get carrots for a while. That was the difference. You might not get some vegetables this week. There's going to be a shortage. That's now stopped. Everything's back to normal. None of the big banks have left. Nobody's fucking left. Everything's exactly the same. Nothing's changed.
Yep.
People are still coming across the border from France. Immigrants are still flying across, and nothing has changed.
Nope.
So, the fuck?
But meanwhile, everybody was having fucking heart attacks, and it was all over the news, and you would have thought that the sky was falling.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Turn off the fucking TVs, get off of the internet, and go hug your kids and play some football and do some jiu-jitsu. Fuck, come on, guys.
Absolutely, man. And I have to say that looking at America just now, because we pay attention to what's going on in America, but Texas is probably the place. Texas seems like the place.
It always has been. And it doesn't now. I lived in Texas for 6-7 years. And I moved to Arizona. I love Arizona. But I'll be moving back to Texas. Now, for me, I don't give a shit about the politics of anywhere. The state of Texas fits my heart. I like the state of Texas. Is it perfect? No. Is there fucking retards there? Yes. You show me one place on planet Earth that doesn't have retards or fucking losers or douchebags, I'll move there. Oh, that's right. There is no place like that. So pick the place that you love, embrace it, and do something to make it a better place, and shut your fucking pie hole.
I mean, I live alone, and this house is full of retards. So
The fact that Ali, the fact that he talks to himself separately, like I bet he has like different personalities and they're all like different names.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
any of them female, Chris? That's all I want to know. Are any of them female?
Yeah. All manly. Oh, in fact, I have to show you this because it's just because you've talked about being manly. I have to show you
Uh-oh. Don't drop your gear. Sweet baby.
this. I bought
Jesus.
this because
No,
we've
it's all
been jumping in locks to go swimming, and I bought
What-
this. It's a temperature gauge. But it's a
Oh,
little
shit.
rock, so we can check what temperature the water is in the lock when we jump in on
Oh
Wednesday.
my goodness. That's funny. I thought that was for your bathtub.
No, it's for the lock. So we're being
Okay.
manly, but we've still got a rubber duck.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. See, that's the secure manhood I need to hear more of.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. So it's that's something that we've been doing recently. On a Sunday morning, there's a loch, a few miles away, and just jumping in there Sunday morning. Let's meet up, guys. Jump in the loch, get cold,
Yeah.
and it is amazing. I don't know if you do any of that stuff, Marcus.
Well, here in Arizona, I'm sure the water is not as cold as a loch, but yeah, I try to swim every day.
Okay.
It's just good for inflammation of my joints.
Yeah.
It's just good for my body.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
the
pretty
water,
much why we started doing it, isn't it?
yeah, we're all getting old and broken, but yeah, the water will be low single figures, so 3-4 degrees. It is fucking cold.
This is where my 3 Adams apples need to be pushed down.
Yes.
It's what happens. It is,
Yeah.
It's-
but you
Oh.
do feel fantastic once you get a heat back in you.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good for you.
when I came out the water on Sunday morning, Marcus, I was pretty much the colour of Chris's t-shirt.
Yeah.
I looked like a lobster. I was like so fucking red. It was
But
unbelievable.
it's good. You do feel good. So
You
it's,
do. And no matter how bad your day gets, you know for sure it's not going to be as bad as how cold that fucking water was.
it is cold.
100%. We've said that exact thing so many times. We train jiu-jitsu 6:30 every morning. We're in the gym
Right.
training, and a lot of guys will message us, be like, "Oh, but it's and it's 6:30," and I'm like, "But do you know what? You just get up, get your feet in the
Yeah.
ground, start moving. You get in the gym. By
Yeah.
7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, you've done an hour's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're back home. You're showered. You're ready to hit your day." And see if you get to 8 o'clock at night in the evening, you go, "I'm just going to sit and watch Netflix for 3 hours." You don't feel shitty because you've
Nope.
spent
Yep.
that hour and a bit in the morning. It's a tick in the box straight off.
Yep. Yeah. I
Make your
agree.
bed.
Yep. Make your bed. I don't go to jiu-jitsu at 6:15, but I'm usually in the gym by 6 a.m.
Mm.
But I get up at 4 just because that's my me time, right? That's 4 to 6, and then 6 I'm at the gym. By the time 8 o'clock comes by, like you said, I don't have to feel guilty if I do decide to just sit on my ass.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want because I put in enough during the day that I can justify sitting on my ass for a bit. Now I usually don't, but there's something to be said for getting up early.
Yeah, I do like it. That's what I did on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Very early. Got up at I was up at like 4:30, and then drove north, climbed some hills, got in some cold water. Fucking awesome. Climbing hills in the dark. That's the way to spend New Year.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Yeah.
That was real
The
fun.
gym is obviously working for you, Marcus, because on this video you're looking swole and jacked, my friend. It has to be said.
It's a small shirt, so the boy's small. We call it a schmedium, which is a small and a medium put together. Yeah, I knew I was going to be with you guys, so I need to make sure you'll notice that you don't see anything from the waist down.
What you can't see is he's got dumbbells that he's just curling, so he just
Just curling off camera.
Yeah. Like,
Got a pump on.
sorry.
He's got a pump on. But yeah, man. What are you doing in the gym these days? Is it all Krav Maga, or are you hitting weights? Or
No, I retired since I last talked to you. I retired from that job of traveling and teaching. So I haven't taught any Krav Maga in months. And as for my time in the gym, it fluctuates between something functional, so whether kettlebells, sprints, something like that, or traditional weights just to strengthen ligaments, tendons. As long as I'm moving, I just don't care. I don't care what I'm doing, as long as it's something that either makes me look pretty or it's got a functional use. I don't care. Doing something's better than doing nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I like I do like I'm in the gym tomorrow morning is my last day off work over this break. So I've got a nice squat session to do, and then I'm going hitting some more. So I'm going hitting some more hills with a buddy. That's going to be fun after doing squats.
Yeah.
But,
I don't envy you at all. That'll be good.
Yeah, man, it's good. I like lifting weights. Lifting weights is fun. There's something. There's no bullshit, and it's that famous Henry Rollins quote about
200 pounds is 200 pounds.
200 pounds is always 200 pounds.
Yeah, it doesn't lie to you.
Doesn't lie. There's no bullshitting. But iron, it's you can lift it or you can't. But yeah. So what's coming up, Marcus? What have you got? What are you working on? What plans you got? Are you got something that you're looking forward to, or?
Well, there's a couple of projects that I have that I can't say anything about now, but I'm working with a group that does some really good things. So training up some of their guys, so when they go to do what they're going to do, it'll be effective. But really, I'm at this point of I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what it is. So I'm just kind of going through life, and I have some personal training clients that I train for self-defense. Odd opportunities will come up. I'll do seminars here, workshops there, whatever, little bits and pieces that give me some money, and my overhead is low. So as long as I have coffee, which I always have coffee, I don't really know what I'm going to do. And it's frustrating because people are like, well, you should do this or you should do that. I'm like, yeah, but I don't really feel like doing that.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm 52 years old. I'll do whatever the fuck it is that I am going to do.
I think by a certain age, when you've done a lot of things, you've earned your stripes, and you could say, "No, I don't want to."
Yeah,
and that's all.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah,
so,
and something will come along, and you'll go, "I like the sound of that. I'll maybe do that." Yeah. I think once you get to a certain age, you've earned your right to say, "Fuck you, I don't want to do that."
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. And I've got some partner stuff with some collaborations that I'll do. And I'm going to work with people that I respect and want to work with. As long as I'm smiling more than I'm crying, that's all I care about, to be honest with you. That's it.
Yeah. Not a bad way to live.
I think so.
I really like that water bottle you've got.
Yeah. Thank you. It is what I use on the airplane. Now, don't TSA, it's not a weapon, but it's a hydro flask, so it keeps everything cold or hot, doesn't matter. But it's just the right size for my hand that if I crack somebody in the skull, it'll split them open.
I was just thinking when you said TSA, it's not a weapon. I'm thinking bullshit. Marcus can make that a weapon.
Yeah, it's a coffee holder, and it is a coffee holder. It is a coffee holder, and this is called Alpha Coffee. It's a coffee company I've been with for about 8 years or 7 years, and they're great. So yeah, I just use it for coffee.
Absolutely. Was that a John Wick for president sticker on it as well?
Yes, one of my
fucking
students
awesome.
gave this to me, right? And then it came with a pencil.
Oh, nice. Again, I don't think Chris has seen the John Wick films.
Haven't seen it. That's the shit to do. Shit to do.
This is what I battle about every morning, Marcus. We'll be talking in the gym, and I'll be like, "Oh, remember, in such and such movie," and Chris, but I haven't seen it. I'm like, "How have you not seen this? How have you not seen that? Haven't seen Star Wars?"
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Listen, I understand that you were, beaten as a child. You were put in a box for most of your life. I get it. The trauma is too much. But come into the light, buddy. Come in. It's okay. See that bucket? Is that a TV behind you? Yeah. There's a button. You press it on and you bring on movies. And you sit on your fucking ass and you watch them, and then you go do some more physical activity.
this is also a medal for one of the hardest motherfucking races on the planet Earth. That to me is a fuck you. I don't want to watch your fucking shitty films medal.
Well, while I'm watching my movie while you're doing hard work, I'm eating popcorn and drinking coffee.
I now don't want to watch Star Wars just to annoy Ali. Basically, like I could watch it, but it's like meh. I now like saying I haven't watched it just to annoy Ali.
Yeah. Well,
because I'm an asshole.
To each their own.
Yeah. But I'll I will watch John Wick. Something I actually want to watch. I just because like we've just said, get some workouts done in the morning. I'm involved in a couple of businesses. You work all day.
Yep.
And generally speaking, I love to, if I've got 2 high distance triathlons this year, so you have to generally get on the bike or run after work.
Yeah.
When I come home and I lie on the couch, in all seriousness, I really don't want to engage my brain in something.
Yeah.
I want to chuck on something shitty that I know.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Friends, something shitty that I just can go, cool. And that's it.
Yeah. I actually understand that more than you know. I understand that 100%.
I don't want to engage my brain. Last year, round about May time, maybe April, May time, I think. It was Ali that said to me, we're going to stop doing the podcast because you're going to die. I was doing far too fucking much. Yeah. I was trying to train for one of the hardest iron distance triathlons on the planet. Working 7 days a week, podcasting. He's just going, this is insanity.
Yeah. And do you know when I knew it was too much from Marcus? Because there was an episode we had lined up with Jeff Bosley, and Chris was messaging me in the hour up to the podcast. I could hear the stress in the text messages. I'm still at work. I don't know if I'm going to get them. Don't know if and just as a fluke, I hadn't actually lined up any other episodes after that one. That was kind of the one that I had, and then I was going to spend the next couple of weeks pulling all the threads in. So I said to Chris, look, we've got no episodes. How about we just put it on the back burner for a couple of months? And as you probably worked out, Chris isn't the type that will say no. So what he said was, if you think that's the best thing. And I was like, yes, I do. We're shutting it down.
I don't say fucking no to anything. I say yes.
Yeah, no, and that's a good thing. However, when you cut yourself that thin, brother, that's this more than I do.
I was running in the local hills around about that time, and I figured out that between work, eating, sleeping, doing the podcast, and training, I had 10 hours a week where I wasn't doing something. Which works out as an hour and 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
But I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is crazy. I'm going to kill myself doing this.
Yeah. It's not healthy, man.
No, it really isn't. So I'm going to manage that better this year, and have some fun with it. And last year, you know what? And actually, last year, I was saying this. We were talking about this morning actually, and saying, looking through when you come up to the end of the year and you're looking through pictures of things that you did that year, and you go, man, I was so wrapped up in everything. I didn't really get a chance to go and do the things I actually enjoyed doing last year. I didn't go and climb many hills last year.
Right.
Because I was so wrapped up in everything else, and you go, sometimes just to say, fuck this, I'm switching my phone off and I'm hitting some hills on my own, and everybody can fuck off.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. So that's what's happening more this year.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. From a mental standpoint, I'm happy to hear that you'll spend time doing some stuff for you. But I will also say, we get so busy that we forget to tell people, like sending a text message or an SMS to anyone and be like, hey, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, it's important that we take care of ourselves, and it's important that we remember that no matter how busy we are, we need to tell the people we give a shit about that we give a shit about them. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than being that busy. And I won't say I've done what you've done, but I have spent over 20 hours in a day doing whatever. And, 6 months later, you look back, you're like, well, I accomplished A, But B, C, D, E, F, G, all fell to shit. I
Mm.
lost contact with all the people that actually mean something to me for this, whatever this is. And this will never be enough to replace all the others. It just won't.
Yeah, if one of my good friends, Ben, he had to do something similar. He was involved in a few businesses, and he had got involved in another business during lockdown, and it was crazy busy. And he eventually got to the point where he goes, you know what, I'm not seeing the wife, not seeing the kids, and I'm done walking away from it. Making good money, and went, it doesn't fucking matter. Taking some time out, I'm going to take the kids to school. I'm way happier. Just got so wrapped up in trying to, as you're saying, this thing's doing amazing.
Yeah.
This is all falling to shit.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good at
No.
all.
No.
So yeah.
And balance doesn't work for the three guys on here right now. Balance is the word that is almost sacrilegious, because balance means I'm not giving everything I need to.
Yeah.
But I will say, maybe it's just because I'm older, I'm tired of burying people and seeing their deathbed and having them being like, I wish I did this. I wish I did this. And none of it has to do with money. Nothing, like none of it.
Mm.
There's guys I've buried who were like, how you took off and went to the hills that hadn't done any physical activity that they loved for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, fuck, man. Who gives a shit about $50 million if you haven't done anything that makes you smile?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 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 And one of the things that I always like to do, and I didn't do it anywhere near enough last year, was it's going down. There's a little local, and there's a nice little beach, and just watching the sunset, and just sitting on the beach, and just sitting watching the sunset, and going, this is so nice. And then just going home, going to bed. And I didn't do that enough. And I always did it. And it's only 1 year. It only happened last year, and it won't happen again. It's just some more time and go, cool.
Good.
We need to relax.
Yep. We have a very finite amount of sunrises and sunsets, man. And everyone you don't see.
If you think about it in terms of, so we just had the winter solstice. You think, okay, how many winter solstices do we have left? Yep. Like, really?
Yep.
You're 50, you're 52, Ali's 43, I'm 37. So you go, cool. So maybe you have 30, maybe I have 45 left.
Yep.
Fuck, man, that's not a lot.
No.
Really not.
There's this American guy, his name Jesse Isler. I can't remember his actual name. He's famous and he does a lot of business and stuff. And he was in an interview, and he asked a really great question. He said, how often do you see your parents? To the guy. And the guy said, I see them once a year. And he said, well, how many years do you think you got left? And he said, I don't know. Hopefully they're around for another 10 years. He said, so you only get to see them 10 times. You don't have 10 years. You only get 10 more visits with them because you only see them once a year. Right? So like you just said, we only have a number. We don't have years. We have a number left of whatever it is going up hills. If you only go up hills, once a month, that means you only have 12 in a year. That means that if you have a 30 or 40 or 50 amount of times, and then that's it. You don't get to go up the hills after those 30 or 40. Fuck, man, when you put those numbers in it, because years, when we say years, it ruins everything. Like, I got lots of time. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have lots of time.
It's even worse when you think about it in terms of doing physical things, because you go, okay, so I can do a hill a month, 12 times a year, but how many good years do you have left?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So the way that if you've done Krav Maga all your life, Ali played rugby and American football, I've boxed, jiu-jitsu, fucking a lot of wear and tear in the body. Okay, so maybe I have 30 good years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Where you can actually do them.
So, am I going to be able to do this when I'm 80? No, of course I'm not.
No.
Am I going to be able to do jiu-jitsu when I'm 80? No. So, fucking do it and have fun.
Yeah.
And it comes full circle, man. Like, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Yeah.
Be a dick.
Yep.
Yeah, be nice.
Be nice.
Have fun when you have fun. Have fun when you've got the chance to have fun, and fucking watch Roadhouse. That's all it is.
Yeah. Listen, I'm expecting a book report, not a book report, a fucking video report later on, just in an email or a text message. Roadhouse. I liked this, and this. I didn't like this, and this.
Maybe me and Ali will do a podcast.
A live cast.
Yes.
For we watch it.
Yes.
Roadhouse.
Yes, I have to be up for that. I love the movie. I love the movie, genuinely. It's one of my favorite all-time movies.
That's possible.
And have all the viewers that you have sit there and punch in a question as to your favorite bar scene, your favorite, I'd ask stupid questions like, what part did you like with Sam Elliott? What was your favorite part with Sam Elliott? And what was Sam Elliott's character's name? I'd fucking, you'd hate it. But I think that's a great idea, Chris. Don't piss around. Do it. Make it happen.
Maybe we'll do
make
that.
it happen.
But
we'll make it happen. We will make it happen.
We'll work on that and get it done sometime. We'll try and get it done this month. We'll see what we can do. I'm trying to actually work on I've got a little summer house outside that I don't use. It used to be my gym. I built it for last year when we had no gyms. And we're going to try and turn that into a little podcast studio. So I'm working on that just now, trying to sort that out so we can make a nice little area to do this. Until we get that 100 million Spotify money, and then
I know.
Yeah, that'll be
now that we're moving into our, now that we're moving into our third year of podcasting, which is ridiculous to say that.
Yeah,
like we did 2020, we did 2021. We're now heading into 2022. Like we said, it was. I genuinely thought we had spoke to you like 6-7 months ago, and I was looking scrolling back through the videos, and I was like, shit, I posted it the 28th of August, 2020, which means we must have spoke mid-August for me to post it that time.
Yeah.
But 2020, it's like, man, so much has happened.
Well, yeah, man, we'll have you on every year that we do this thing. Once a year.
Good. I'm gonna make smaller. I'll be wearing a tank top next time, so
And then
notice. I'm gonna be ready. Yeah.
How many years are you going to get? Like the whole thing tucked up and a knot in it.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it up to here. Yeah. I'm gonna have my belt. I'm gonna wear a belt for working out and be like this. Hi, how are you?
Just one of those guys at the gym. You've got the lats and a lot of
I gotta go through the door. I sit like this every day. This is natural.
Just 100% raw liver. 100% raw liver. Just jacking it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Marcus, we've been on the go now for like an hour and 15 minutes, so I don't want to take up all of your time.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
It's always a pleasure, and like I say, man, as long as we're doing this thing, we'll reach out once a year and have a little annual. In fact, I tell you what, every year that we do this, we'll make you the first episode of that year.
All right, sold.
And then eventually, I'm going to get you to sign that fucking page of you kicking Hitler in the dick. That's my life goal. That's a new life goal.
If the fucking flights and world stop being retarded, the minute the world stops being retarded, I'll fly to Scotland because I actually haven't been there. Ireland and the UK is the closest I've been. So I'll come over, fuck around with you guys, sign the book, and then come back.
Awesome. It's a deal.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
Good. All right, boys.
Well,
I appreciate you.
As always, an absolute pleasure speaking to you, my man. It's always fun when we get to catch up and have a chat.
You guys are good guys. No matter what people say about you on the internet, I think you're great people. You're awesome.
We're not. We're not.
Yeah. And hey, contact Tony. Contact Tony Blau.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Make sure that happens because I think you'll like what he has to say.
Yeah, definitely.
We will.
Good.
We'll definitely come on. Well, let's call this
All right.
episode done and dusted. I'll stop the recording. As always, Marcus, an absolute pleasure.
Bye, guys.
The Silly Goose Gang Podcast.